as I was saying before, it's not too overhead heavy or too this heavy or too that heavy. I may get heavy on the backbeat, but that's sort of the snare drum and all of that is the heart of the matter. So that's what I mean by that, you know, is balancing all the elements of the kit so that they sound like they're one cohesive unit.
Any questions, anybody?
Yeah, Vinnie, with your head, about your heads, how often do you change them and when do you decide to change them?
You know something? If they get to the point where they're so pitted with holes that tuning doesn't do anything anymore, then I'll change it. Because what actually happens, and this is sort of a little thing that drummers have that we kind of like, is the heads wear in, and they'll usually wear in around here, and you'll see that, and then it gets to the point where the head is now broken in, and we think we have this sweet spot. So it's kind of nice. You know what I mean? And often I find that sometimes brand new heads on the first run, you got to watch it a little bit. So whenever the heads you go on the drum for the first time, oftentimes I'll do things like I'll put them on finger tight, I'll pound in the middle of the head to make sure that you hear all the glue cracking going out of it, crank it up really high and over-tune it almost as far as it'll go, and then bring it back down and make sure that it sits. Even then, it may take a day to settle where it's going to be okay.
Is that on an individual drum basis, or if you do one, are you doing them all? And
All of them.
What about the bottoms too?
Bottom ones, you don't really, they're a resonant head. So the basic thing with those is because you're not striking them, you're not, the criteria, the thing that happens about them settling from striking them, it doesn't happen. So it's a resonant head. So, you know, so now we can open up the Pandora's box of tuning. But the short answer is no. I don't really worry about that.
So they can last years.
Oh yeah, they can last for a long time. But even they can grow weary, and you can sometimes tell. But it takes a long time.
Can we do a 2-minute Pandora's box on the tuning, on how you tune your toms, for example?
Yeah.
Well,
Are they all equally?
yeah. Basically, look, we have moon gel on these right now, so I haven't even touched the drum. So we have here. Okay, so now we have them two good fundamental pitches. So what I might do is listen to see where they are fundamentally, and then I have to know ahead of time what am I going to do musically. So now I have them, typically I like to have them in a range with a lot of spread. So right now, they're kind of new, and we haven't done anything with them. But what I would do is I would say, okay, what do I want? I want to get a fundamental note out of them. And with these drums, it's kind of easy to do. So the shells usually have a pitch range that they want to sit in. And you can usually tell when you have a fundamental. So one of the things you could do is you could sort of listen when you're tuning to hear the overtones, to see how far apart they are, and strive for consistency and make fine adjustments on both heads like that. Usually, I'll try to tune them pretty close together, you know. And so now I have a fundamental, and now if I want more overtones, I'll start cranking it up, and I'll get more of an overtony, jazzy kind of sound. We don't want that. The other thing I have to consider is snare buzz, because the drums are really resonant, and so now we have snare buzz, so I have to fix that. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to tune all of them, because if I tune this down to get rid of the snare buzz, it's going to be too close in pitch to that. So now I'm going to make everything work together. Okay? So I would start from scratch usually, and if I change the drum head, I would try to find a pitch where I think the drum is singing, put the other drum head on top, make sure that they get to a certain area. You can tell when the tone is really pure. Boom. I mean, there's all kinds of little tricks you can do, like tuning one lug down, you know what I mean, to get a bend. You can hear how it does that, right? So that's a quick fix, you know. You know, but you go too far, whoops, you get a little, you know what I mean?
It was back in the 70s, wasn't it? That
Yeah. Yeah,
was,
and
it was a big thing.
yeah, big thing in the 70s, and that's a trick to create that sort of downward curve.
And what Vinnie calls snare buzz is the engineer's nightmare.
Yeah.
And so So if we're able to control that snare buzz, it's a big help. Really.
Which is what I'm going to do right now as you're doing other things, you know, and we get started. I'm going to be doing that with these two instruments here, so I'll take.
One thing I did learn as an engineer in my early years at WM was that you must listen to the kit in the room. You know, don't just go into the, don't just mic it up and then listen and control them. You've got to hear how the drums actually sound in the room. So that's the first thing we'll do when he feels confident that you're in tune and everything. We'll take a listen out here, just see what to expect when we go inside.
What mic choice have you gone with the kit today?
It's a fairly standard setup